I'm going to show you how to set up a third-party finance company. That's, of course, a finance company that your company can put sales through something like Synchrony or Wells Fargo or one of the rent-to-own or lease-to-own companies. They have to be set up in Infinity before you can use those companies. So we're going to start with the main menu here and look for finance company, and it's right here. C202 finance companies. Double click on that and code in. And what that's going to show you here are the finance companies that are already set up. If I was going to set up you would also besides adding a finance company here, you also are going to edit them. If you click this edit button, you'd be able to do that. So if we were going to add a finance company, I would click this add button down here. And what what that'll do is it's going to bring up some blank screens for you to fill in. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go to the edit side of things, only because I I don't want to spend the whole time showing you watching me type here, but I'll explain what I've done, and I've pre-filled some in. So I set this one up earlier, furniture finance company, and let's say I had clicked this add button. I'm clicking the edit here, but here's what would have shown up, and it would have been all blank. So to set up this new finance company here, and this is not a real company, we're calling it Furniture Finance, and you put in their information, their contact, their email address. Right here, if you have any comments you want to include about the company, so you can pass the knowledge to anybody that's looking at it on this screen. You do it here. If you would, there are some companies that want the name of and the address on the receipts instead of the customer's name and the address. And if you want that, you would click right here where it says print this company name and address. We're not going to do that. It's, I think, somewhat rare, but there are cases when that happens. The sales tender code type, which is the initials for the company, let's say, we're putting it as an F and FF, and that's what those would show for cashier's purposes. They would know by those initials that it came from this company. Over here, you've got a button. Some companies, when they have a third-party finance sale, they want it to go to their verifications department before merchandise is released. So if you want that to happen, you would click this button here, and all sales made to this company would first go to the verifications people to do whatever they do before merchandise is released. I'm not going to do that for this one. Down here, is letting the system know that approvals from this company will last 30 days. You can put whatever you want in there, but that's what the system will use. How the application gets submitted to the third-party company is what's covered in this next area here. And so the application method here, I'm saying it's on the website. So we're putting the site in here that Infinity would go to in order to enter that information if it's not somebody that we are integrated with. If it's somebody that we're integrated with, you can use this area here and put in the EDI settings, and it's really neat when that happens because it saves you a lot of time, a lot of effort. Everything will be copied over into that company. All the information you've gathered in Infinity will be automatically copied to that company, and everything else there can happen. Other ways the application can be sent are by email, fax, or mail. You can put the email address, the fax number, and if you have an address, you can click here and fill that in. We're going to say that this company only does website. The last box down here are some of the things that we're looking for that that third-party finance company requires. So you put a check mark by any of those things. Some require a program code, some require an account number, or they require an approval number. And so we've got all three checked. We're saying that this company requires all of those, so we put those in there. On this side, uh, the receipt's going to automatically say make payments to in the name of the company. If you don't want that to happen, you click right here in this box. Um, and if you want the program code on receipts, check that. If you want the account number, check this one. And if you want the approval code, you click here. We've said we want these two printed on the receipts, and it's also going to say make payments to on the receipts. Some of these, or all of these companies have their own rules. So we've got an area down here for exclusions and rules. If you click on that, and this part I did not fill in. There are some things these companies cover or will finance, and some things that they won't. Some things that they'll cover the entire amount, and some that they will only do a partial amount. So let's start at the top here. This one, if they do not charge sales tax, we would want to click here. That's usually for lease to own companies. This one is not, so we're not going to click that here. And Infinity will automatically not charge tax on those sales if you have that checked. For delivery charges, we're going to say that this company does the entire amount only. Furniture protection, we're going to say that they cover they do either the entire or partial amount. Dummy split SKUs are allowed. We're going to say is allowed, and what that is if your company does split sales. In other words, part of it goes to this company and part of it you finance in house, or part of it goes to this company and part goes to another third party company. Sometimes you're only selling one SKU, but you need to, show something on each of those invoices. So we'll create a dummy SKU for one of the companies. So we're showing what the merchandise actually is there, and we'll allocate charges between those two. Labor charges, we're going to say that this company doesn't labor charges, or this one, the tire fees and disposal fees, we're not going to pay attention to. That's for a different industry. And we're going to say that the company does finance the recycling fees. If you live in California, I'm not sure if other states may have recycling fees that are required. Down here, we talked about when you split a sale and you have to create a dummy SKU. Sometimes you need to increase the sale on one invoice and decrease the sale on the other invoice to make it work out and get the right amounts to each company. What you can do here is let Infinity know, okay, how much are you willing to make those changes? So here we're going to say we are willing to increase the retail price by 80% or decrease it by 80% so we can make it work out for the split sale. All right, once you're done with that, you click OK Save. You're done there. Customer payments, most of you are not going to use this. This is for a third-party finance company that allows you to take payments for them in the store. We're not even going to talk about the top part because no one's going to, it's rare anyone's going to use this up here. But the bottom part is when a customer has purchases from this company in the last, let's say, 6 months, we want to make sure that we ask the customer when they're making a payment, is it for the third-party company or for your company? So we want to make sure that we kind of nudge the cashier a little bit to make sure that they get the right payment and apply it to the right place. And down here, we're not going to go through this, but if you had you would assign a transaction number for this company, for the third-party company, so that any cashier transaction payment is taken will be applied to that transaction, and get that to your accounting people the correct way. And so once we're done with that, we click continue down here. Put a zero in here for now. And click OK, save. And you have created a third-party finance company that you can now use to help finance your purchases from your store. That's it.